oh, that was interesting. I felt jealous there, or
Yeah.
I felt small in that
Yeah,
moment.
right, exactly.
These are the
Yeah.
moments I note and go, oh, how was I participating in that? What belief of mine was being challenged? Is that a helpful belief? Belief being a thought that I like having. 11.
Right, that's a kind of consciousness. Is like, well, I'm going to fall apart. I'm going to make mistakes. I don't want to make mistakes. I'm going to keep an eye out for when I do make mistakes, and I'm going to make them conscious, and then I'm going to try to work on them.
Yes, bringing them into consciousness, because my number one fear on a personal level, and possibly on a social level, I don't know quite how to extrapolate or conflate those two notions, is unconsciousness. I get very afraid when I'm dealing with unconscious individuals, when people don't know why they're doing what they're doing. You may see this in sort of violent rage, or even in less dramatic or theatrical behaviours.
There's the great idea that lurks at the bottom of the Christian mythological tradition is that a little bit of consciousness destroyed the original paradise. We became conscious enough to be aware of our own mortality. But the cure for that is way more consciousness, not a return to unconsciousness.
Yes, there's no going back. There's no going back. I sometimes think the plethora of zombie movies is, they don't know they're already dead.
That danger of the zombie is the danger of the desire for unconsciousness as a solution to life's problems.
And I think that this is again something we're being invited to participate in through consumerism, that live your life continually on the frequency of unconscious energy such as desire and fear. That we're not being invited to participate on the level of consciousness, conscious interaction, presence in the moment.
Well, you could make that case if you made the case that consumerism promotes the gratification of immediate desires above all else.
I think it does. That's what I'm pushing for. So with this original sin, a little bit of consciousness is a dangerous thing. We become aware of our vulnerability, our mortality, our nakedness, our corporeal nature. But the solution to this is to
become more conscious.
So we have to. So how is that?
Well,
is that the whole rest of the Bible?
Yes, I would say so. Yes.
I was wondering, where does that get resolved? Not when they get kicked out of the garden.
Not
when Cain slays Abel.
Well, part of what happens in the redemptive story is, if you think about Christ as a symbolic figure, say a symbolic of the process of transformation that we just described, is one of the morals of the Christian passion is that you need to radically accept your limitations. And so part of this keeping your sins before your eyes, which you just described, here's all the ways that I fall short of the glory of God, let's say. I make this mistake, I make this mistake, I make this mistake. That's all consciousness. And it's painful, right? Because you think, well, you become more conscious. It's this glorious process of enlightenment. And overall it is. But the details are exactly this. The things you need to become conscious of are precisely those things that you least want to become conscious of. And that this is the motif that Jung identified in the alchemical tradition, because the alchemical motto, so to speak, was that which you most need to find will be found where you least want to look.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, and everyone knows that's true. Like you tell someone that, they go, "Oh yeah, I know that's true." So, and that's also the greatest barrier to enlightenment, because if enlightenment was all, tulips and sunshine, then everyone would be enlightened. But it's not. It's this continual bringing before yourself all your proclivity for transgression. And and obviously, because how are you going to solve your problems if you're not aware of them?
People don't want the old discipline, do they, Jordan?
Well, it's not surprising, but the alternative is far worse.